Greetings and salutations, guys. Eric here with my review of The Wild Robot. There's been a lot of buzz around this movie, and there have been raves as it screened at TIFF, and people just saying that this is one of the best movies of the year, and I'm here to say I completely agree. It is fantastic. It is live action or animation, doesn't matter. It is just one of the best movies of 2024, and just a really wonderful emotional experience. Lupita Nyong'o voices the title character, a robot we'll come to know as Roz, and she's one of a line of helper robots in a future society. She's been lost in transit, and she washes up on the shore of an island that's only inhabited by wild animals, and while initially she's perceived as some kind of monster by those animals, things change as she connects with a couple of them, most notably a baby goose who imprints upon her when it hatches, and now sees Roz as his mother. The Wild Robot is based on a book by Peter Brown that only came out 8 years ago, but it really does feel like a classic fairy tale, just one with this sort of sci-fi sprinkled on top of it, which makes for a really cool combination. Writer-director Chris Sanders was the co-director of excellent films like Lilo and Stitch and How to Train Your Dragon, so it's saying something that this is his best movie to date. He and his team of designers and animators have created a really remarkable world here, completely investing you in Roz as a character and this unlikely environment that she finds herself in. Nyong'o is perfect as Roz, who begins with this oh-so-helpful, chipper voice that she's been programmed with, and then that begins to change and evolve as the environment she's in begins to change how she acts. Pedro Pascal, meanwhile, is a lot of fun as Fink, who is a fox who befriends Roz along the way. But the heart and soul of the movie is the dynamic between Roz and the goose who comes to be known as Brightbill, who's voiced as he ages by Kit Connor. Connor and Nyong'o really sell the bond between these two characters. There's some very funny bits along the way too, as Brightbill begins to emulate his mother in the way she speaks and the stilted and, yes, robotic mannerisms she has. But mostly this is a movie that tugs at your heartstrings, and wow, is it impressive in that manner. I'm going to tell you straight up, I was fully crying watching this movie at least twice that I can remember, while trying to not be too obvious about it around the literal children that were at the screening I was attending. There's something just so beautiful and lyrical about this movie. I've mentioned a few actors in it, there is dialogue, but honestly, it could work without it. The animation and the visuals just completely draw you in and tell such a lovely and epic story. But the central trio of Nyong'o, Pascal, and Connor are terrific together, and they are aided by a great supporting cast that includes folks like Matt Berry, Mark Hamill, and Catherine O'Hara, all of whom have moments to shine as their characters.
You're lucky you just have one. As a mother of 7. 6 babies. It's a full-time thing.
I will say that structurally, The Wild Robot is a bit odd. It kind of builds to this big emotional crescendo that happens about 2/3 of the way through the movie, so you kind of have to recalibrate, like a robot, as you realize there's actually a lot of story left. But when you look at that story in its totality and the way that this really does feel like a true saga, I think it all works, and it definitely has plenty of very meaningful and, yes, tear-jerking moments to follow. I don't want to get ahead of myself or the movie, but it really feels like The Wild Robot is going to be the one to beat this year in the animated category at the Oscars. It really has everything you could want from a movie in terms of how it combines action, drama, comedy, and so much heart, and it is all backed by a terrific and appropriately rousing score by Chris Bowers. Suffice to say, I loved The Wild Robot. I loved the characters, I loved the world, and that includes the sci-fi elements that I don't think they go overboard with, but they give you just enough information to kind of be intriguing and make some deductions about what exactly has occurred in this future. It's just all so clever and so well put together, and yeah, just has so much heart and has so much emotion. It really does stand out as just a triumph and just one of the best movies of the year, and I can't wait to see it again. So those are my highly positive thoughts on The Wild Robot. I hope other people agree. I think they will. Certainly my audience seemed to be there was a lot of people crying, I will say that. A lot of us adults. I don't know, I'm curious what kids think of it. But yeah. So if you check it out this weekend or in weekends to come, let me know in the comments what you thought. That's it for now, guys. I'll be back with more soon. If you could like and subscribe, that'd be great. Take care. Thanks.